Welcome back, everyone, to History with Salty B, and today a very special collection episode. If you've been here before, you've seen my history corner with the posters, but we've got a new addition, the bookshelf. Ooh, look at that. It looks good. It looks good. Comes right up to the edge of this poster, right in the corner. And you might notice, that's a lot of nice looking books. You've seen some of these already if you've been around, but this is my Folio history book collection. I won't let you look at it too hard because we are going to go through each and every single one today. 15 books is what we'll be going through. So let's get right into it. My History Folio Society book collection. I'll share why I like the book, what made me buy it, how much it was, obviously. And then once we've gone through all of them, I'll tell you how much I spent on all this and kind of just what my goal is for this collection and what I see, the role I see it playing in my life going on and what I'm going to do with it. And why I was so excited about this Folio Society and other publishers as well, history book collection. So let's start off here with probably one of the most impressive things in my library. And it is The Rulers of the Ancient World by Folio Society. Right up top here, it is a 5-book set. And I'll swap you to the other camera here. Boom. There we go. So, Rulers of the Ancient World, Folio Society. And as you can see, it's Alexander the Great, Hannibal, Julius Caesar, Cleopatra, and Nero. I really like this lineup. The only one that I kind of already know a little bit about and I'm kind of good on is probably Nero. I've read a few books about Nero. Usually it's just books about the first 5 Roman emperors in the Julio-Claudian dynasty. But yes, very excited about this set, and I will show you each book one by one here. So starting with Alexander the Great. There we go. And on the cover, it has Alexander. Very, very cool. They each have this. So excited to read this. It doesn't even say Folio Society anywhere. It's just the clean name in this kind of burgundy color. There's Alexander. Next up, we have Hannibal. There he is. Oh, and I should show you the, hold on, the inner, the inner leaf or whatever they call it on each one is different. So this is Alexander's route through from Greece all the way into India, and that's on either side. Then here is Hannibal, and it doesn't actually show his route here. It just has the Western Mediterranean with Spain and Italy. I wish it showed his route, but it has like all the tribes he picked up on the way as he was coming to Rome. These are in chronological order, by the way, if you're wondering like, oh, why don't you do it like in order of like the rainbow or something. This is chronological order. So then we got Julius Caesar, iconic, and there is the Roman Empire in the age of Caesar. Then Cleopatra, one that I'm very excited for, and an image I had not seen. I'd never seen this. I don't know what artwork this is of Cleopatra. And as expected, Egypt and Italy are on her inner leaf, and then we've got Nero, similar to the Julius Caesar one. We've just got the Roman Empire here, and his neck beard have an ass. So that is the Rulers of the Ancient World Folio Society, and love this set. I mean, absolutely gorgeous set. This was obviously used. Some of them, so almost everything I've got here is used. Some of them, the Cleopatra one, a little bit on the E in Cleopatra, the Nero one, maybe the Hannibal one. Some of them are a little bit worn, but honestly, not that much. This was $145, which equates to $30 a book, which is just like, these books are so nice. I mean, imagine telling someone that this book was $30. Like, it's, I don't know, it's a pretty good deal. And to get all of them like this, because I actually, in the bookstore that I got most of these books at, they had just the Alexander book, and I had it. I was gonna buy it, and then I saw this on my way out. I was like, oh, hold on, let me think about this. So there we go, the first thing in the collection, Rulers of the Ancient World. Next up, we've got the Spanish Armada here. And this book, Uh, Came out in 2002 from the Folio Society. And you can see a bookmark in here because I'm actually reading this one. This is one of the ones I've started on. And yes, it has this gorgeous artwork on the cover that is the defeat of the Spanish Armada. It's a famous painting, and they put it as the cover here. The Spanish Armada, so interesting. You know, I've been reading about it. And beautiful book. First of all, this was $30. Just $30 for this gorgeous book. And yeah, the Spanish Armada really was the kickstart of what we know as like the British Empire, because if they had been defeated, if the Spanish Armada won, history would have been so different. There probably would have been Queen Elizabeth would have died. There probably would have been a Spanish king of England. Yeah, crazy moment in history, and just world history changes immensely if this goes differently. So yeah, I am currently about a fifth of the way through the book. The Spanish Armada is just about to sail off. I also did not know that the Spanish Armada all happened because Mary, Queen of Scots, got executed. I did not know that, but that is what like kicked everything off. Next up, we have The Travels of Marco Polo. I got this for $20. My dad saw it in a store, and this is in pristine condition here. The opening leaf has his travels here all the way from was it Genoa he came from, or Venice maybe, and then all the way into China. Spent 25 years, and yeah, just like really great quality here for only $20. Yeah, I mean, back in the, what was it, the 11th century, I think he left. To travel that far and to see that many crazy things, and to then get put in prison and write it all down. What a story, and I'm so happy that I have a folio copy of it. Another one that just looks so clean. So excited to read this, because these books, they look bigger than they are, right? Because there's not that many words per page, and then there's pictures and stuff. Like, I'm getting all the pages of pictures. Like, they really do go quick. Like that Spanish Armada book, I'm a fifth of the way through, and I've only read it for maybe like 3 hours tops. So that's next up. Then we have another one that's in the same style as the Spanish Armada ones. This one was published in 2001, and that is the 7 Years' War. This one also has artwork on the cover. This is the death of Captain Wolfe at the Battle of, was it Quebec? See, I got to read the book. But this was the 7 Years' War could have been called the First World War. In fact, in Winston Churchill book you'll be seeing later, he calls it the First World War, because it truly was the first war that was on, I think it was 4 continents. It was in North America, it was in Europe, it was in Africa, I think, and then also Asia. I think it was 4 continents, and maybe even South America. But it was truly the first world war. And it was the war that got France out of North America for the most part, and kind of started England as controlling North America and just really like the seas in general. If the Spanish Armada kickstarted or like saved and made it be able to happen to the British Empire, then the 7 Years' War is when it was solidified. So I like that. I've got these 2 books, and they both have the same kind of publishing style. Next up, we have this book right here. Oh, this was $55 for that one. Next up here, we've got one, the only one of these that I've got online. I ordered this online, and that is because I was in the bookstore. This is The Habsburgs Embodying Empire by Andrew Wheatcroft, published in 1995. And the reason why I didn't get this book initially, I saw it in the bookstore, and it was $55, and I was like, I'm not really like that yet. Now I'm all about that. But I decided to just wait. I was like, I'm not going to get it. And then I actually asked for it for Christmas and then didn't get it. So on like Boxing Day, I ordered it online for $38. I found a cheap one. It came all the way from England. So yeah, with tax, it was basically $20 cheaper than the one I would have gone in the bookstore. So happy about that. So yeah, $38. for this book. And also, like, one thing about my collection is I'm trying to get books, like books I'm interested in, obviously, but I also want books that are all different colors because I think it looks better. Like if all my books were blue, it wouldn't look as good as if they're all like different colors. So I did have a yellow book, and I was like, fuck yeah, nice yellow book. It kind of looks white in the lighting, I guess, but I promise it is like a bright yellow. Next up, we have, oh yeah, we've got The Black Death. Now this one I got for free. Are you serious? Here's the cover. This is one, I keep forgetting about this over here. This is one of many folio books that were published in the kind of late 90s with this kind of black and dark cover scheme. Like black and red and gold. There's also The Princes in the Tower, The Spanish Inquisition, The Monks of War, which is about the Crusades, and The Great Fire of London. But just gorgeous. And I got this for free because it was a buy 2 books, get 1 free. And so this was the free book. And I started reading it. I read the first chapter, and it's so interesting to read a book that was written obviously pre-COVID and to now know more about global pandemics and to have experienced one, and then here's the worst one. And even in the preface, the author's going into like what if a pandemic happened nowadays, like that we wouldn't see this happen or something like that. And it's really interesting that I have like more insight even than the author did. And yeah, very very interested in this and relating to things that I've been through, because time is kind of separated in history. Time is separated by wars and pandemics, and I haven't really lived through a war that's like truly affecting my country. So COVID was like the first big historical moment of my life. And so to read about kind of the last huge pandemic, well, not the last, the worst pandemic, is very interesting. Next up, we're going to enter our cities portion of the episode. First, we've got London, Portrait of a City. And this was $30. And pretty simple one. It's just about London throughout the years. And it was $30. This was kind of just like I walked in there one day and I was like, yeah, $30, whatever, I'll get this. And this was from 1998. This was published by Roger Hudson straight into the Folio Society. Lots of pictures and just stuff about London as it went from like a Roman territory, capital of a Roman territory, into the capital of an empire. Next up, we have another set. This set was $75, so $25 per book, which is just amazing when you see these. We have Italian Cities by Christopher Hibbert, by the Folio Society, and as you can see there, we've got Rome, Venice, and Florence. It makes up the Italian flag here. And let me crack these open. So first off, we have Venice with the St. Marco's, the lion here with the town motto, something about Pax, peace, and St. Marco. And then yeah, it's just a great book. More kind of like bigger, kind of like a coffee table style book. But again, $25 each for these. Just all about Venice. Then we have Florence, lots about the Medicis. There is a book, The Rise and Fall of House of Medici by Folio Society. I've seen it for like $30, but I haven't pulled the trigger on that yet. You can see we got the fleur de lis, which was the symbol of the Medici. And same thing, Florence. And very excited to read that because of these three, I definitely know the least about Florence. Then we got Rome with the mother wolf with Romulus and Remus below her. Classic Roman style there. And then, yeah, you can see that the insides of this is all the wolf as well. The other books had the lion or the fleur de lis. And same thing. This is all about Rome. So yeah, a beautiful set. I love getting books about cities, and I can't wait to like read a whole book about a city. These are ones I'm really excited for. What a beautiful set, and $25 per book. Fantastic. And then last but not least, in the cities portion, we have Cities and Civilizations. It's got Florence on the cover, and then just a range of all the way from like ancient cities all the way to modern day cities there. And this is, yes, definitely more coffee table style. And this is all about cities. This is another one I've started. I've read the first few. It is split. If I go to the contents here, it's split into like ancient cities, medieval cities, modern cities. So I've read all the ancient ones. But another great find in this was $25. So a little cheaper. And a lot more history in it, and it kind of goes by. It'll be like St. Petersburg in the time of Peter the Great, Rome in the time of Trajan, London in the time of Queen Victoria, stuff like that. So you see different cities at their kind of like peak, like Florence, I think, is in there at the House of Medici. Now, okay, a lot of this so far has been European history. But I'm trying to branch out from European history. Obviously, living in Western culture, I go into a bookstore. It's mostly going to be a lot of British stuff, as I live in Canada. So it's going to be a lot of British history, then European history, and then maybe some other history, Middle Eastern or something like that. But I've been trying to branch out and find other books about non-European history. So the first one here is A History of the Arab Peoples by Folio. This was published in 1997 by Folio. The book is from 1991. Here we go. And this is another one that I have started reading. I have another book just to finish first, but this is on my list, and I will read this very soon. It's actually pretty light. It's one of the lighter books. I don't know what makes it so light, but it's like pretty light. Shockingly so, because it is pretty beefy. This was $55. And just a wealth of information. I mean, this goes all the way from pre-Muhammad all the way to modern day. Here's the inner leaf with the Arab world. But that's not it, because I also I got the non-European section of the episode here. We have A History of Chinese Civilization. Now, this was a book I got yesterday. I was in Vancouver, and I went to a bookstore, and I saw this. I went to this bookstore where it's just piles and piles of books. I asked where the history books are, and they sent me down to the basement, and I spent like 40 minutes down there. I eventually find this for $50. It was $50, so there's the Great Wall with storks flying over it as volume 1. And then here is the Imperial Palace with storks flying over it. So those are the 2 volumes. Absolutely gorgeous. And then we've got I think they're the Manchurian warriors, the ones that are filled with mercury. And this goes all the way from like 700 BC to modern day, which is just crazy. And so I bought this for $50. And then when I went to the counter, I bought one more book, which you'll see in a bit. And because I bought both books, they ended up both being cheaper. And so I got this for $42 with tax and everything. $42 for this set, which is crazy. Because like my local bookstore would probably sell this for like $95, $75, $95, something like that. So 2 great volumes about Chinese history. So excited to read this because I know so little about Chinese history, and it just sounds so awesome. Like so many of the dynasties and stuff. Can't wait. So that is History of Chinese Civilization. Then this next one, so there is a very specific style that Folio was publishing in like the mid 90s. A lot of these are from the 90s because that's kind of just the trickle down. They published these in the 90s. They're super expensive, and now at this point they are in used bookstores for cheaper. This is The Rise and Fall of the British Empire. This was the second item in my collection. You still have not seen the first. And just take a look at that. I'll leave that up for a second there because there's so much detail there. And very excited to read this book. It goes all the way from the inner leaf here. That's what the British Empire was in the early 1700s. And then that's what it became. There is the spine. And this style of publishing, just like the way this looks here, there are many books that actually look like this, and they're all to do kind of. It's almost like Folio did like a colonization publishing style. Like all the books, they're kind of about colonization or books about Africa, India, stuff like that. They all kind of have this style with the title and then like the different pictures. And it's almost like a metaphor, like a beautiful book about a horrible thing type of. I don't know. There's something there, but yes, that is the Rise and Fall of the British Empire. And then right next to it, so that was $75, rightfully so. I mean, that's a gorgeous book, $75, and then also $75 is an eyewitness account or an eyewitness history of the Raj, the British Raj, obviously British control over India. And the same thing here. You can see all the different imagery, the Indian soldier and the imperial parliament building and the white people getting treated. And I'm very excited for this book because as someone who lives in Canada, in Western society, like we have, I won't say a positive outlook on the British Empire, but definitely more positive than somewhere like India. I can still find British Empire, UK flags flying in my city in the present day because, we somewhat have a connection to the UK still, and it's like kind of a positive thing or whatever. That's not the case for India. And so I'm really hoping that an eyewitness account, I'm hoping it is either, if it is just white people writing about India and it's very biased, then I'm hoping I could read between the lines, but I'm just hoping it's not like that. Thankfully, that's not the only book on India I have, and this is the other book that I got in Vancouver just yesterday, and so I got this one also for $42, and this is the only book in my collection that is brand new, and I'll be opening it for the first time for you guys right now, and that is India, a History. Look at this. India, a History by John Kay. And this was in the bookstore for $65. And like I said, when I bought the $50 book and the $65 book right here, it made it $85 or $84. So divide that by 2. That means each of these, this and the Chinese book, were both $42, which is crazy. It is brand new. I mean, it's in the plastic, everything brand new. Let's open her up. Here we go. The first and only brand new item in my collection. Oh, there we are. Now, I do know what these books look like. Obviously, when I saw it in the bookstore, I Googled it, like took a look at what they look like. I'm like, okay, yeah, these look pretty nice. So here we go. There's volume 2. Ooh, this looks nice. Here, I'll show it to you one at a time. So there's the sleeve. And here is volume 1. Oh, that's gorgeous. Wow, that is gorgeous. Little fuzz there. Oh, new book set. Oh, that's so pretty. India, a History. And yeah, I'm gonna have to look through this in a bit, but whoo-hoo. First map. I was hoping we'd have something on the inner leaf, but not the case. And let's see, maps. Talk about Alexander's invasion, Gupta conquests, Delhi, new and old. More maps there. And oh, this looks fantastic. So that's volume 1. And here is volume 2. Same kind of style there. With the leaves. New book. Smell. Fantastic. So there we go. So if the British Raj if it doesn't end up being what I want it to be, we got the backup. We got India history. Beautiful, gorgeous books, brand new. So excited about those. And yeah, to get them for $42. I mean, just by opening it, you just saw live them lose value. But I could probably, like, you could sell that for like $200. And I bought it for 42, which is crazy. And it was just like tucked away in a random corner, this like between two shelves, kind of lower down. It's just this unopened Folio Society set. Like, I'm like, what? Like, crazy. So we're nearing the end. You look at this. You've seen all these now. There's still one more thing up here. Right before I show you the last folio. Actually, it's not technically folio, but it's like the last kind of thing. I got to shout out Matt Baker, and all of these are his. So these posters here. I've got two more up here, and then this guy right here, and then Timeline of World History. This is a chart book, so it comes with lots of charts, and I haven't actually read this yet, but it is so useful because, for example, I bought the Chinese book, and I was looking at like the contents, and I'm like, okay, it starts with the Han Dynasty. When was the Han Dynasty? Like, I don't really know. And that's when you whip out the chart. And then it's easy to be like, oh, Han Dynasty's right here. So this book starts probably in the warring period there. And then that's the rest of China. Like, it really helps me visually to see what's going on in history. So I really like this book. I'm not really including this. This is almost just like honorable mention before the number one item in my collection. So I'm not going to include this in like the final tally. I don't even know how much I bought this for. It's like $30. It's like, I don't know. But yeah, shout out Matt Baker. He did all these charts and stuff, and this book. So I got to give him a shout out in this one. And so to finish off the collection video, we've gone through the rulers of the ancient world, India history, travels of Marco Polo, Spanish Armada, a history of Chinese civilization, a history of the Arab peoples, the Raj and eyewitness history, the rise and fall of the British Empire, the Habsburgs embodying empire, the 7 Years' War, the Black Death, Rome, Florence, and Venice in the Italian city collection, London, a portrait of city, cities and civilizations. We have the first item in my collection, a history of the English-speaking peoples by Winston Churchill. And this is a book series that I read. I listened to the audiobook back in the spring and summer of 2025, and I just loved it. And it made me think, I was like, man, when I play a video game I like to have it physically, like the cartridge and the game. When I watch a movie I really like, my favorite movies, I like to have the discs of my favorite movies. And I thought, why not for a book series that I think is just great? It's about the English-speaking peoples. That's me. What language do you think I'm talking to you right now? I assume that you're also English-speaking peoples. Maybe not, though. And it's from Winston Churchill, like top 5 Brit. Winston Churchill. He wrote this. Like, I don't know. I feel like I couldn't come up with a more iconic duo for a history book series. And so I was in the bookstore, and this was $95. And these books, let me tell you, this first one is used. You can see a little drop of paint there, and then there's like this kind of seam because they were obviously like reading it and opening it up like that. But these other 3 are in pristine condition. I mean, I'll show them to you one at a time. So the first volume is The Birth of Britain, which covers England as a Roman province all the way to the end of the Wars of the Roses. That's why it's so beefy. It's because it's like 1,400 years of history. Then we've got The New World, which is about kind of like Henry VIII, Spanish Armada, Elizabeth I, all the way to like right before the Glorious Revolution. And I mean, look at this. Like this book is in pristine condition. This is it's like a textbook style. Absolutely gorgeous. Like seriously, like for $95, 3 of these books are just in peak condition. Like were never touched. Next is The Age of Revolution, which goes from the Glorious Revolution to Napoleon. It's about 200 years of history. And the last one is about maybe this is like 150, and the last one was 200. And then it ends with The Great Democracies and this is from Napoleon to the end of the Victorian era. Churchill wrote books about the First World War and the Second World War. So this book ends in 1901 when Queen Victoria dies, because he would end up writing books about like the next decades and then even later decades. But so that's why I wish, like, what I wish is he just did one more volume, which was 1901 to 1945. Like, that would have been my dream. But he did. He just wrote them specifically about those wars, and not part of this collection. But there you go. And this is just, what a beautiful set. And so I bought this. This was the very first thing in my collection. The second thing was The Rise and Fall of the British Empire. And then from there, I just realized, I'm like, I love these books, and I want to collect more. I want to read more. I want to have all these books. So far, I'm reading this, and I'm gonna read this very soon. I started it, and I'm gonna read this very soon. But one day, and I've read this already. So one day, I will have read all of these. So excited for when that day comes, and just the journey of reading all these. And to cap off this, like, how much have I spent on all these? What would you guess? I mean, I've already said all the prices. 95, 75, 145, like, it's going to be up there. I've spent almost exactly $800 on these books. And that sounds like a lot of money, but the truth is, like, for me, that's like 4 days of work, nothing crazy. And it's been over the course of these last months that I've been collecting these. And the reason why I'm doing this history book collection video right now is because I'm kind of good. I've got 2 shelves filled up. I'm good for now. The bookstore nearby, there's only really one book that I'm kind of looking at. It's The Conquest of Mexico. So maybe for episode 5 of History of Salty Bee, maybe that'll be the haul. But I'm really good right now, especially with the Chinese history and the Indian history I just got. I'm feeling very satisfied, and like I've jump started my collection. I've got a good collection now, $800 worth, and like I'm kind of good. I'm sitting back now, because I was almost just waiting until I had a couple shelves filled up, and now I'm good. But $800, like, there is not a single book in this collection that I think I got a bad deal on. I know of the 15 books here, I could probably sell at least half of them for more than I bought them for today. Like right now, today, I could sell some of these books for more. And yeah, I really don't feel bad about any of the deals I got. As for what I'm going to do with it, obviously I'm going to read all these books. It's just going to be a part of my history, just being a part of my life now. Like I said it in, I think it was like episode 2 of History with Salty Bee, and it was just unprompted. I didn't write it or anything, but after I said it, I was like, wow, that's actually kind of profound. I said, I want to spend my time on Earth learning about time on Earth. And I was like, damn, that's hard as hell. Because like, yeah, there's so much content these days. Like you can spend your time on Earth doing anything you want, watching whatever you want, but I feel like a really good use of my time is to read these history books and to feel really satisfied that I'm learning about world history and what happened before me and us and everything. And I love context. I love learning about how we got where we are, like what the chain of events is, and it's super interesting. So I plan to, one day be an old man, have my office. Hopefully it's not in this little corner here of my house, but one day I'd love to have like an office with a desk and a big shelf behind me, and I've got all my history books, and one day maybe I'll sell them. History never goes out of fashion, right? Like there's always going to be someone that wants to learn about the Spanish Armada. Obviously books like, the Chinese history book that I have, it ends in like the early 1990s, because most of these books are published in the 1990s. But fuck, this book has like 3,000 years of history. Just because it doesn't have the last 20 of modern history doesn't make it obsolete. And so people are always going to want to have these books. Someone will buy them off of me, right? And I can sell them almost definitely for more. They'll probably appreciate in value, right? Like, also a history book that looks a little worn. It's a history book. The older a history book looks, it's almost like it's cool. It's like, oh, it's from that time. I mean, not really, but if there's any collectible that almost looks a little better. Maybe not, but maybe I'm coping. But if there's any collectible that still has value, even if it is a bit worn, I think it's a history book, because it kind of adds to the mystique of it. It adds to the it looks like it's from that time or something. And then if I don't end up selling them, I'll pass them on to my kids, right? Hopefully I have one kid or a grandkid who is into history, and then boom, here you go. Here is $800 Canadian back in 2025 of history books. Who knows what it's worth now, right? And if you want to sell them, you can sell them. If you want to read them, you can read them. But whatever. Like this is not something that I've dumped money into and it's gonna be worthless in a few years. Like this stuff I can either sell or pass on, and it'll keep its value, because I'm gonna keep them in good condition, keep them out of like direct sunlight, that kind of stuff, and read them all and learn so much. And I'm so excited. So thank you, everyone, for watching this History with Salty B collection video. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I think I'm good on history books for a while. Who knows? Maybe the next History with Salty B will have like 5 more books, but I really am good. I look at this and I'm just satisfied. It's just like, damn, like that looks clean as hell. So good. I might change the way they're organized right now or something, but yeah. So thank you so much for watching this special collection video of History with Salty B. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in episode 5 of History with Salty B. I'm not really counting this one as a numbered one. And we're going to talk about the 16th century, the 1500s. In the next episode, I read a few books. I'll talk about those. And yeah, very excited for that episode. That'll probably be out in mid-February, maybe. I'm not really rushing it, though, because I've just done this one. So thanks for watching, buddy. See you in the next one. I'm like, hey, what's up? Goodbye.